Aunty Donna Nelson's grief has been cruelly compounded by the Victorian government's decision to overturn crucial bail reforms implemented in direct response to the tragic death of her daughter. The government's move, announced by Premier Jacinta Allan on Wednesday, reintroduces the offense of committing an indictable crime while on bail, a provision scrapped in 2023 following a coronial inquest that exposed significant flaws in the state's bail system. The inquest, a searing examination of the system's failures, revealed a devastating truth. The bail laws had a discriminatory impact on First Nations people, leading to grossly disproportionate rates of remand in custody. This finding, a stark indictment of the system's inherent bias, underscored the urgent need for reform, a need that now appears to have been disregarded in favor of a politically expedient reversal. Aunty Donna Nelson's reaction to the government's decision was raw and visceral. "Shame on you, Jacinta Allan," she declared, her voice laden with the weight of her loss and the chilling implications of this reversal. "Your lack of leadership will cost lives," she warned, a statement that echoes the concerns of countless legal professionals, human rights advocates, and First Nations leaders. The proposed overhaul of the Bail Act, spearheaded by the government, is not merely a restoration of the status quo. It's a drastic step backward, a regression that threatens to exacerbate existing inequalities and undermine the very principles of justice. The most alarming aspect of the proposed changes lies in the mandated treatment of children accused of serious crimes as adults during bail considerations. This effectively strips young people of the crucial protections afforded to minors under the previous system, potentially condemning them to lengthy periods of pretrial detention. This regressive move follows weeks of sustained pressure from the opposition and a media frenzy fueled by a narrative of a youth crime crisis. The Herald Sun's inflammatory "Suburbs Under Siege" campaign, coupled with the Bring on Bail Reform petition championed by radio hosts Fifi, Fev, and Nick, has created a climate of fear and fueled calls for harsher penalties, regardless of the long-term consequences. The government's focus on a relatively small number of repeat offenders, approximately 300, with a core group of 25 allegedly responsible for the majority of offenses, further underscores the narrow and arguably misleading framing of the crisis. While addressing serious crime is paramount, the government's response seems disproportionate, jeopardizing the progress made towards a fairer and more equitable justice system. The emphasis on statistics ignores the complex social and economic factors that contribute to youth crime, opting instead for a simplistic solution that punishes vulnerable individuals rather than addressing the root causes of the problem. The government's decision, viewed through the lens of Aunty Donna Nelson's justified outrage, reveals a profound disconnect between the lived experiences of those most affected by the system and the political expediency that drives these reforms. It's a decision that betrays a lack of empathy, an indifference to the systemic injustices highlighted by the coronial inquest, and a willingness to sacrifice crucial protections in the name of a hastily constructed narrative of a youth crime crisis. The long-term ramifications of this decision, both for individuals and for the integrity of the justice system, remain to be seen. But the immediate impact is a profound sense of betrayal and a chilling disregard for the very lives the system is supposed to protect. The government's actions are not only a slap in the face to Aunty Donna Nelson and her family, but also a dangerous precedent that will disproportionately affect vulnerable communities for years to come, casting a long shadow over the promise of a just and equitable society. The question remains, at what cost will this short-sighted political maneuver come?